So here we are once again. Nothing's changed except the game. And it's tough to say if we go up or down in quality from here. This is 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue. Go ahead and check out this opening cutscene and be prepared for interesting gameplay, shall we say. Interesting gameplay, interesting sound effects, interesting graphics. It's gonna be fun. Alright, here we are once again, everyone. This is 102 Dalmatians. Hold on a second, I think I might have already done this intro. I'm not sure how much of it you heard because I got a little bit of an early start. 1 second, please. Alright, actually I think we're good. Let's go ahead and get started with the run. First off, we're gonna have to select our pupper. We have a choice between Domino and Oddball. I always go Oddball. And yes, this music is definitely music. Yep, it's gonna be interesting. So let's get this started in 3, 2, 1. In this game, as can be expected, you do save 102 Dalmatians. You come to their rescue as a puppy, hence the title 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue. This game, once again, is very heavily cycle-based. And a lot of it is going to be focused on optimizing movement. You cannot short hop in this game, you only have a full hop. And so it's a little bit of a challenge sometimes to get things streamlined in such a fashion that it doesn't waste any sideways momentum in particular. I'm going to skip that bone because I do want to build up some bones for a bit of a boss skip later on. Almost missed that jump. I'm going to get up here, and we have to strangely traverse the ceiling because they put 2 dogs in the ceiling. This game, as you might expect, loosely, emphasis on loosely, follows the plot of the movie 102 Dalmatians, in which Cruella captures 102 Dalmatians. Best part of the game, you get to sit down at the end of the level. We're heading on to the basement area here. And now for some reason we have electricity. Who knows why? Video games. These levels are constantly being rerouted to be ever so slightly faster. One particular reroute is coming up in just a second. As soon as I leap off this platform, the cycle begins. We have to make sure we hit this platform just in time. That saves quite a bit of time. We are also going to do a little hop right here, get on this platform. And here's a cool feature. We can sit down in midair. What a good pupper. Inside Machinery is another interesting level. This introduces the best song in the game, in my opinion. Again, a lot of cycle skips. You're going to be seeing those in every level. So here's a very brief roadmap of what to do in this game. Not that. You don't want to do that. That's bad. But what you do want to do is grab the key and then unlock all the cages. That's most of the levels in a nutshell. However, there are boss stages. And those boss stages are, interesting, to say the least. There we go. And you have to remember not to split. It's actually very difficult to, not split during this game in particular. So here's the cafeteria. There are a lot of moving platforms here, and a lot of enemies. I'm probably going to end up damaging myself a lot. Fortunately, all you have to do to disable these guys is bark at them. You press B to bark in this game. I missed that cycle. I was going for a few frames there where I would be able to do that. But unfortunately, I didn't do that. By the way, this is the cafeteria. This is what I like to call the Daft Punk Hall. Because the posters tell you to work harder, eat it faster, do it better, makes it stronger. Also, shoutouts to these little sets of eyes peering out of every single mouse hole and crack in the wall. I don't know why, but they exist. I hold back on purpose right there just to make sure I don't come in contact with those enemies, because if you touch them, they will deplete your meter. And I have had occasion in the past where I've actually run out of health on this level. And your health is indicated by this paw down here in the bottom 10th, I want to say, of the screen. There we go. At this point, we will be arriving shortly at our first boss battle. You might notice I have 4 bones. Once you collect 5 bones, you get a free health refill. So we're going to be taking advantage of that. And going right over here, you can't bark at these guys again until they've run out of space and have doubled back. And so now we're a little bit hard on health. So we're gonna grab this bone. Bark at him. It takes 5 barks to defeat these guys. Here's a cool thing though, if you face the wall, while this guy, and only this guy, is coming after you, you will actually not get hit. Gotta collect the key from this guy. Actually, fun fact, if you defeat the second Baden Brother and then the first Baden Brother, the first Baden Brother will have the key. But if you defeat the first one first and then the second one second, the second guy will have the key. So you have to defeat both of them to get the key. Now we're on to the shipping room. All you have to do to get the key in this level is stick to the ceiling. This introduces some very disturbing enemies, including but not limited to these clanking toy monkey Cruella-like dolls, I guess? I don't like them. They are a little bit annoying as well because they're controlled by RNG. Sometimes they will stop and clank around, and sometimes they'll just walk at you. You want them to stop and clank right there as you're traversing the top of the shipping containers. Unfortunately, he did move, but it does not really matter that much because you don't need to conserve health on this level. It's very easy to go through it with minimal contact. And there we have it. Now, if you've been keeping track... Oopsie. A little too early there. You might have noticed the game said pause. That's because the pause button and the skip cutscene button are the exact same button. So I did pause, P-A-W-S, the game for a second. And I'm actually glad that happened because I did want to show that off. It's pretty great. Anyway, tight cycle. Hopefully I make it. Ah, I didn't quite make it. So yeah, you need to be on point with that jump right there in order to make a cycle right over here. and catch this platform as it's leaving. However, since we were a bit slow there, we have to take the ride of shame. It looks really cool when you get it right. I got about 50% of the time in practice, so it's not terribly surprising I missed it, but still unfortunate. Also, feel free to spam any dog emotes you have. Oh my dog, Franker Z, Ralpher Z, Lil Z, Chef Frank, Wowie. Just go ahead and pull them all out. Get them all out here for this run. They're good puppers. You don't have to hop on top of those pillars. It's just a little bit speedier to do so. And there we go. Free golden bone. And the roof, aka the level that hates me the most. Let's hope this goes well. Woo! This actually has a few reroutes that you can optionally go for. However, I don't think I'm gonna go for them. I'm just gonna collect the cage as normal. Hopefully make the cycle good. I was afraid I hesitated too long there, but we're Gucci. I don't know who in their right mind keeps dogs on a roof like this, but of course Cruella is not necessarily in her right mind. Still, it seems like you would want to keep the puppers nice if you're planning to use their coats. A little bit of a blind jump there, but we're good. And right here is the part of the run that I feared the most, is missing those jumps right there, but we're good. The machine room is an interesting level, because there are quite a few frame perfect, that's words, there are quite a few frame perfect jumps that you can make. Or not, if you're not good enough, like that one right there. These platform cycles are just different enough, like that right there, to allow you to hop onto them and then immediately... Oh, please. Well, that would have saved time, but now it isn't. In any case, that's a frame-perfect trick to make that cycle, and it does save about 7 seconds, once again. The difference between the two playable puppers? Excellent question. There are very few differences. I'm using Oddball right now. She has one tiny white spot, or tiny black spot on the back of her back, and her jumping and barking is a lot higher pitched than Domino's. Domino is your classic Dalmatian, black and white spots, well, white with black spots, and a lot lower pitched bark and jump. Ooh, very smart swiftness. That is a 300 IQ play right there, in my opinion. Alright, coming up is a very annoying part that can sometimes cost me a lot of time. A little trick up here, where you can jump off a ledge and grab onto a platform right above it. Yeah, I missed that one. There we go. I'm gonna have to do that one more time in the laboratory later on. Gotta catch the right window right there. You're good. By the way, I wish there were a Discord I could plug for this game. Unfortunately, no one else runs this game, so I can't really plug a Discord. If you're interested in running it, feel free to contact me, because I'd be more than happy to teach anything anyone needs to know about this game to anyone and everyone. Gonna damage boost a little bit, because we're gonna pick up that bone right there. Also, shoutouts to this switch boop animation. It's the best thing in video game history. Also, I noticed a question as to why K9 from the Doctor Who series is here trying to eliminate us. No one knows why. They're just kind of there. And we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect fight. Research room. Has anyone been counting the dogs? Another excellent question, because there are actually 105 dogs to save in this game. Well, 102 dogs to save. And then the playable puppers as well. And whichever pupper you're not playing as, I would only assume that the pupper you don't play as is still trapped. So that accounts for the third pupper in that equation. However, if you count up the dogs, your parents are not included in the equation and you do save them in this run. By the way, this level introduces trampolines. They are interesting. If you hold down the button, the jump button that is, you will bounce higher. However, if you don't press the button, you will slow down in bounce and jump less. And so what I do there is actually... Oh, I'm gonna do this. Nice. What I do here is purposefully let go of A so my bouncing stops, and then it can do a full hop off of those platforms, which allows for me to get more height out of my initial bounce. So there's less time going into each initial bounce on each trampoline. I'm gonna wait for the R and D1 and then jump. Shoutouts to visual cues. They're pretty cool. And factory floor 2. Gotta remember to do a big bounce. Nope, that's not it. Here's what we can do in that situation, is instantly restart the level. Little bounce. Big bounce. And now we're good. Do a heckin' bork. Catch this cycle. Get hit a couple times. And here we are. I've tried many times to make this cycle, but unfortunately I don't think it can be done. It'd be awesome though. So now we're just gonna drop down, bark at that guy. Nice mid-air snipe. There are more dogs to save in this level than any other level, by the way. So it takes a little bit longer. Monsieur, how's it going? I don't know how they got some of these dogs in some of these cages, but they did. And so it's our job to rescue them. And by the way, this is actually a sequel level to the last level we were in. Ooh, that's really unfortunate. The first level was, as you might remember, Basement 1. This is Basement 2. So they actually ran out of basements. They had to make new ones, just to hold all the puppers. If you're keeping track, that's a lot of dogs. Oh, thank you, Zarius. It means a lot. And mid-air sit. Freezer, don't you love ice physics? They're great. Fortunately, this level is the only time we actually experience ice physics in the game besides the first boss fight. A lot of scary strats in this level that can waste a lot of time if you miss them. Fortunately, we are on track right now, but not completely out of the woodworks. So here's the gist. If you slide, you can't turn around. And that is the other part that I was worried about right there. We're gonna have to go back up there and find the platform that we jumped from. This one last cage in the middle perplexed me for ages. I missed it again. Let's go, me. I am good at the video game. I'm actually gonna get up here this time. Maybe. And there we have it. First try, let's go. And now we have to rescue our parents. You know what's really cool about this mission? We have to unlock 2 doors by booping 2 switches, and then we actually have to walk up to our parents and touch them to make them leave. Because apparently our parents don't know how to walk through open doors. Well, thank you, Leo, in that case. But yeah, it's pretty great. Unfortunately, I missed that cycle because I did not have my platforming down on lock. This, surprisingly, can be a very challenging stage if you don't do it right. So now we have to touch our parents. That's 1. And that's 2. And here we go with the sewers level. Casually, this is by far the worst level in the game. And there is a nearly frame-perfect trick you can do right up here if you get 2 really good jumps. It'll save about 15 seconds if I get them. I almost never do, so don't expect it. Yep. Not quite. So that right there would allow me to catch an early platform cycle up here, which would allow me to catch an even earlier platform cycle later on, which in turn would allow me to catch the early cycle on every platform. Also, this level is really good because you can DJ a bit against the wall while you're waiting for platforms. There we go. Long story short, though, this level took me over 2 hours casually, and that's using a map and everything. Oh dang, we embedded ourselves in that platform, that's not good. Sometimes you can slip down there and not have to deal with it. Unfortunately, that time we did not. And that right there, that platform just leaving up there, is the platform that we could have caught if we'd gotten the early cycle near the beginning of this stage. However, we still can do a little bit of speed strats right here by slipping between the platform before it traps us. I'm not entirely sure, Kapow, because here's a confession: I've only seen 101 Dalmatians as of like 2 months ago, and I've never seen the sequel. So there's that level. Final level before the end game. We're getting very close to the end. Missed that quick snipe. That's fine. Doesn't matter. So, can he ask you guys for a favor? Ah, darn. I'm actually gonna reset the level for that. Can I ask you guys for a favor? Could you, as soon as this run is over, could you spam Author Blues about this game and ask him to run it? Or at least check it out. Don't tell him you sent me. Don't tell him I sent you. But just suggest this game to him. Because it seems like his kind of game. And I think he would thank me for it. Just gonna go ahead and loop back around here. I use a visual cue here, jumping right before this lamp to hit this block. There's the snipe. Oof. Nice. There we go. Just a little bit more. 4 more cages. Count down with me, guys. 3, 2, 1. Zero. Alright, now we fight Gorilla Deville. Gorilla Deville! She doesn't scare you. No evil thing will! And guess how we have to fight her? With our bark, of course. The bark wants to stun her. Unfortunately, there's no way to avoid getting hit by her during that section, for some reason. Alright, and we mash B, that kills her. Gotta pick up her key, and sub 26 incoming. Time. So that was 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the rescue. Wink. There are some bonus minigames that we can go through if we have time. I think we do. Tank, dice, 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 and tank, dice, dice, tank. Very slow credits, let's go ahead and skip those. Let's hop right into the minigames. Starbone. Doggo Ball. Bone Ball. So we're just gonna be optimizing our movement here if possible. Ooh, we haven't come across another house yet. Now we have. And GG world record! Alright, and one more, which is tank, dice, dice, tank. And this is what I literally just played. Whoopsie. Tank, dice, dice, dice. And this is a color mixer. Apparently a lot of people actually learned how to mix colors using this game. So that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I can't do it very well, because apparently, according to this game, I'm very slightly colorblind. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to nail this shade of gray. Never mind. Easy every time. So that was the game. Hope you enjoyed. Does this have a category? No. Unfortunately, memory % does not exist yet. But yeah, that will conclude my final run for this marathon. Thanks to everyone who ran in Handheld Heroes this year, and everyone who still has a run coming up. Please stick around till the end, it will be worth it. This is my favorite kind of game, Marathon, and I hope you continue to return every year, hopefully more often, just my opinion. But yeah, I will see you next time, and have a great night, everyone. Cheers.